Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well today. Welcome back to the channel. My name is David and in today's video we'll be sketching something slightly different with our professional markers. This time we're going to be drawing this abandoned and rusty wall picture using some gray and brown tone markers as well as our fine liners and white Prismacolor pencil. The idea for this video is to see how much detail we can add by layering different contrasting colors from our marker pens to give the impression of rust and decay that we see in all the wall on this picture. Now, because we're going to be using a lot of ink, I also wanted to see how much could our blue tape hold, and went on and covered a square space in the paper just to give the same proportions as the ones in the picture. I wasn't sure there was going to be any leak or if the tape was going to fall out while passing the marker several times, but it ended up holding quite well during the entire sketching. So as always, I started by drawing a quick sketch with my mechanical pencil just to limit the window frames and metal sheets on the wall, and then began working exclusively with the professional markers. Now, during the process of coloring the scene with my markers as I went on along the video, I became very aware of the evolution of the strokes and speed I was getting along the way. At first I didn't realize it since I was focusing on imitating the scene as much as possible, but then shifted my intentions to focus on the concept of what was I looking rather than the specific details. So you can tell I started working slowly and focused on reflecting the exact elements in the picture, and then started working more freely along the way. It took me a while to finish the first sections of the wall, whereas the last sections were made relatively quick. At first I didn't know if certain markers like the dark gray and red ones were going to look good with the more subtle tones on the back, but once they were complemented with more markers, the idea of rust came to be more present. The funny part was that at some point of the drawing I realized the rust in the original picture evolved randomly on the wall, and this made me justify that same randomness with the strokes of the markers. Now, this might not make a lot of sense, but I do want to highlight this because if you're starting your journey on loose sketching, it's normal to feel scared at the beginning, not knowing where to start, or if we're going to make it right or ruin our sketch. But just as any other discipline, discovering your own style takes time and practice. So if you're in this position, remember that you're trying to sketch an idea, a concept, not replicate a picture perfectly. And it is right between these random lines and your tools of preference that you'll find a pattern of strokes and lines that you'll start to identify as your own. Almost like if you're sanding something with a rough sandpaper first and then start moving on to very fine sandpapers that allow you to see what's inside or on the other side of the translucent material you're working on. Or like a leather wallet used for many years that show marks of wear and tear specifically to the way you use it. So that's just something to have in mind, and I hope these words along with the video that show the evolution of the strokes and speed and details exemplify what I'm trying to tell you. Moving on with the sketch, since the windows have a strong green-blue color, they're going to act as accents in the scene, giving the entire picture more sense of an abandoned building. Some of the windows are shuttered and some others are still in place and slightly reflect some light, and we'll use a gray tone marker to represent this idea. Once the entire scene was colored, we can use our set of fine liners to highlight some line weight and add more fine details onto the rusty wall. And since I already had some inertia from the random strokes of colors I used, it was easy to add even more random strokes of fine black lines with the fine liners, as you can see. Then I added more random strokes on the rusty wall, but this time with a white Prismacolor and reflection lights on the windows as well. Finally, it was time to add some shadows with some graphite and stump pen, but I didn't use a lot since because the scene was already filled with dark tones of marker, the shadows were not so visible and they only added a subtle effect in the end. Then, when it was all finished, I went on and removed the tape and was pretty scared at first since I didn't know if it would act as a good barrier to the marker's ink, but it actually turned out to work very well. In fact, I might use again this technique for future projects with different shapes. And this is the final result. So friends, I hope you liked the video and find this tutorial useful. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and if you're into urban sketching, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. I post videos on loose drawing, digital sketching, and much more. Also, let me know your thoughts on this video in the comment section below, and if you wish to follow up on more videos like this one, don't forget to hit the notification bell to be the first ones to know whenever I publish a new video. Again friends, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.